The Vanitas Art Movement is one that exemplifies the duality of grandeur in the early 17th century. Previously, in the 15th and 16th century, the Netherlands had a relatively small economy, pouring much labor into their textile endeavors. By the time the 17th century came around, they had developed into a maritime success. This success was characterized as the Dutch Golden Age. It was during this age of financial excess that people were able to purchase paintings and other forms of art for the purpose of enjoyment. Among the many portraits of maritime-themed paintings, the still life genre of painting was strongly represented. The common theme of still life paintings is to depict the brevity of life. This theme was represented during the Dutch Golden Age with paintings featuring skulls or flowers. The Vanitas-style painting often are a part of another category of art, the Pronkstilleven category. Pronkstilleven is a category of art that depicts still lifes with elaborate colors, giving the image a full and bright look. Amongst the still lifes depicting messy desks and baskets of flowers, there are hidden symbols expressing the ideal of memento mori. Some common symbols that are found in both memento mori and Vanitas paintings include skulls, clocks, and flowers. Despite being presented beautifully and amongst gold and other forms of wealth, the macabre reminders of death define this genre of art. In Hestenberg's piece, the candle in the background that has a smoldering wick and the hourglass that has been knocked over both symbolize the passing of time and the extinguishing of life. In Claes' Vanitas still life, the inclusion of an inkwell and feather alludes to the meaninglessness of one's written work, as a skull, a symbol of death, sits on top of papers, probably reinforcing the fact that death triumphs the assumed life our works have after we pass on. These small, subtle ways that the artist includes other images that aren't necessarily symbols of the Vanitas movement are other methods of giving the same meaning as a skull to a very commonplace item at the time, like a candle or a feather. This just further enforces the message of the Vanitas, that death is lurking in everything we do. The Vanitas art movement is still found in contemporary pieces. In the depiction of the skull from war, we see the use of a skull as a stark and grisly reminder of the perils of war. This is in contrast to our tendency to portray soldiers in lights of glory. The skull is used as a reminder of the truth of war. In this final piece, we see a depiction of what college can be represented by. We see staples of the generic college experience, ranging from cups of noodles to Smirnoff. However, lurking in the corner of the table is a skull. Whenever movements reminding us that death is lurking come about, they are often following periods of gross wealth gain. The necessity to remind even the richest peoples that we are all destined for the same fate is one found after many periods of rapid growth. In these paintings where there are crowded desks, things falling off of it, and colors almost melding together, like in Collier's Vanitas still life, the notion of death is almost hidden. Just as in life, we are all busy with whatever it is we do, gaining wealth or creating things, we forget that there is the universal fate. Vanitas and memento mori is an art movement that can be found present in contemporary art as blunt or hidden reminders of our universal fate, death.